welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, hi. Today's Wednesday, so I got another book video for you guys. Today's video is going to be all about my favorite romance series. Romance is probably my favorite type of book to read, and I also love series because I like hold on to the characters. I don't like to read them and then just be done with them. So romance series are definitely my favorite. I've got 5 series that I'm going to show you today, so let's just get right into it. The first series that I want to talk about is the Off-Campus series. There is 4 books in this series. The Deal is going to be the first one. There's also The Score, The Goal, and The Mistake. I'm only going to say a few sentences about these books because I don't want to give away any spoilers if you haven't read them yet. So basically, this series deals with a friend group of college hockey players and their girlfriends, or girls they're try to make their girlfriends. They don't really date, and so it's very interesting to see them fall for all these girls. The boys are actually all roommates too, and so it's fun because each book is about a different couple, but in each book you see all the couples still like interacting. Because like I said earlier, I have a hard time giving up book fictional people, which I don't know why, they're not real, but I love how you can still hear about them in books to come. I should have said this at the beginning, but this is by Elle Kennedy. And then going along with that, she also has the Briar Youth series, which is basically the same thing, just the boys in the Off-Campus series all graduated, so this is the next class of hockey players. And actually all the boys in these books live in the same townhouse that the other boys lived in, which is cool. But it's basically the same exact thing, just with different characters. This one has 4 books again: The Chase, The Risk, The Play, and The Dare. So definitely if you like sport romances, give these books a chance. They're so good. Even if you don't like sports romance, there's really not that much hockey in it, and so if you despise hockey or sports, whatever, still read them. They're really good books. I should have said this at the beginning too, but I will have my Goodreads linked down below, so if you want to see what I rated any of these books, you can definitely check that out. The next book series that I want to talk about today is the Paper Princess series, which is by Aaron Watt, which actually I didn't know this, but Aaron Watt is 2 separate people, and one of them is Elle Kennedy. I can't remember, I always forget the other girl's name, but Elle Kennedy is one of them, so this is kind of by Elle Kennedy too. This one is so good though. There's technically like 5.5-ish books in this series. The first 3 deal with Ella and one of the boys, and then the other ones are like spin-offs of the boys. But basically this one is Ella. Her mom passed away, she doesn't know who her dad is, and this random guy shows up at her school one day and is like, "I'm your legal guardian, like I'm taking you home." And she's like, "I've never seen you before, I don't know about that." But she ends up going with him, and he has 5 sons, and he ends up being her dad's best friend and business partner. And all these sons hate her and are mean to her, and it's kind of just her relationship with them. She ends up falling for one of them. Not going to say which one because you need to read it to find out. And so like I said, the first 3 books are about her and that brother, and then the other 2 are about a different brother, and then there's like a half book in between that is about one of the brothers and his girl too. But yeah, I loved this series. It is so good. I was a little iffy on it. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. I thought it was because it has like the crown and it says these royals will ruin you, and I was like, I don't know if I like that. But royal is just their last name. It's not like a royalty themed book. But yeah, loved this book, definitely recommend. Next up we have the Beautiful Disaster series. I think that's what it's called. It's called the Beautiful series. I don't really know. By Jamie McGuire. This book was so good. I've seen this all over YouTube, all over Book Talk, and I was like, I need to read it. So basically, this girl, Abby, has a friend, and she has a boyfriend who lives with his cousin. His cousin is this underground fighter, and so Abby tags along to these fights. And at one of them, they make a bet where if he wins, she has to move in with him for a month, and if he loses, I honestly don't remember what happens if she loses, but he ends up winning. So she has to move in with him for a month, and obviously they end up falling for each other. A lot of other stuff goes on with it. Her dad is a little crazy, and he shows up in some trouble, and so they gotta go help him. And yeah, it is a really good book. Beautiful Disaster is in Abby's point of view, and then Walking Disaster is going to be in Travis's point of view. And then Travis has a few brothers too, and they all have separate books, which makes up the rest of the series. And the last book series I'm going to talk about today is probably my absolute favorite. There's a lot of controversy surrounding this series, but I love it. It's definitely my guilty pleasure, and that is the After series by Anna Todd. If you don't know what this book is, you must live under a rock, because I feel like everyone has an opinion on this book, whether it's good or bad. One sentence to explain this book would be: good girl has a good boyfriend, goes to college, meets bad boy, likes him, but their whole relationship is based on a bet. So it's really good. Tessa and Hardin. Hardin has my heart. I love him. If you guys watch the movies, Hero finds Stephen is so cute, and I always tell you something, I'm like, oh my god, if I ever met him, like, I'm sorry, but I'm leaving you for him. He's, oh, love him. Anyway, really good book. Some people think it's very problematic and very toxic, which I think the relationship is toxic, but it's definitely like my guilty pleasure read. There is a few books in this series: After We Collided, After We Fell, After Ever Happy, and then Before, which this first one is just in Tessa's point of view, and then Before is basically the main parts of this book, but in Hardin's point of view. And then the other 3 books rotate between Tessa and Hardin. And then Landon, which is actually Tessa's best friend and Hardin's stepbrother, has a spin-off series, Nothing More and Nothing Less. So yeah, this is also a movie. I don't think any of the other ones are a movie. They should make the Off Campus and Briar U into a TV show. Oh my god, that'd be such a good idea. They need to do that. Paper Princess would probably be a good movie too. So would Beautiful Disaster. I feel like every book would be a good movie, but then I always watch the movie and I'm disappointed because the book was 10 times better. Anyway, super good. Loved this series. I read it multiple times and I always go back to it. So that is my favorite romance series. If you want me to do like an in-depth video on each series or certain books, let me know. I feel like I have so much to say about the books, like I just want to like rant about them and talk about them, but this is like a no spoiler video, so I don't want to say things that if you haven't read it could ruin the whole thing for you. So yeah, let me know if you want any separate book videos on these books. I'd be happy to do them. Let me know your favorite series down below, whether it's romance or not. I'd love to know. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.